base variations, and it looks like in this matchup we're going to get a little bit more of that as well. Box bases still seem to be the meta. We have been seeing mostly rage towers as well. I think we saw a couple of invisibility towers and maybe one or two poisons, but rage towers still seem to be the meta.
Yeah, and we've got again the combo now, the regular hogs with those super hog riders in there as well, which I do love to see. I don't think we've been seeing too many attacks. We may have had one or two today already. And we've got that queen charge starting off there on that 9 o'clock side, clearing up around the outskirts of the base. A few loons just to make sure we have the funneling for our queen as we approach these heavy-hitting defenses.
Yeah, the queen charge, twin hogs combo there. Always fun to see. And look at this early log launcher being used, I believe, just to snipe the multi and the expo to keep the queen pushing down toward the scatter shot section. So it's kind of like a Yeti bomb, but unfortunately these Teslas are taking out that log launcher early, and he didn't get the multi or the expo.
The queen already went to ability here up against that royal champion. King's gonna clear up around the outside just so that we can make sure the queen does go into this slither of compartment to reach over the walls to get that scatter shot down, and the log launcher didn't really do the damage that we needed here either.
No, that expo, that multi staying up, and the CC troops didn't get pulled early. He has been able to sneak in a couple of hog riders to pull the CC troops, but now the timing is not ideal because the super minions are going for his healers instead of the queen. He might end up losing an extra healer or two now on top of everything else that's already happened. The king making his way toward the right side of the base. Luckily that poison spell was able to take out the super minions, but question is, does the queen path perfectly into the town hall for him now?
Yeah, the king's clearing up pretty nice around the outside there with the Phoenix giving him a bit of power to push through, and the queen does backtrack to get into this compartment. The Phoenix did pull one of the seeking air mines as well, so the queen can continue through. There's a lot of damage in there and invisibility coming through here just to keep that queen alive. We need that extra star on the board, and those hogs are about to come out of that warden ability and take quite a bit of damage from these multi-infernos.
Yes, a couple free spells will allow him to make sure he secures that town hall. The skeleton spell to distract the scatter and the queen. We've been seeing this a lot today as well on the back end of these attacks, but all the hogs dying out early. The champion and warden trying their best to push through the rest of the space. With one more free spell, he will get through the enemy queen. This might be really close here, Coco. Can he get the scatter shot? Look at those back end wall breakers giving queen even quicker access to it.
Yeah, those wall breakers do help out a little bit here so she can enter that scattershot compartment. A few more loons coming in here just to test, and now these healers are finding some more seeking air mines, and we have no loons to test for any potential traps, which means the health from that queen is dropping pretty rapidly, and unfortunately I don't think she's gonna make it all the way through.
Gotta say, I think it was an impressive recovery considering the log launcher. I feel like it got little to no value. 97% here as time runs out. Super close to open up the match. Almost a brilliant save there from CWL, but just not quite able to get through it. A defense is a defense, and if Time2Throw can capitalize on that, open up with a triple, they'll be feeling hot here in this match.
Yeah, I mean, 97% is ideal for a fail, and as you said, it was a really good recovery after the log launch. It didn't get the value that we needed. The queen ability was a little bit early there as well, so the spells that Cadil used to keep that queen charge alive to get that extra value that she needed was very valuable. And Dobbs is up next for Time2Throw. We had some Zap Quake Lull already clearing out one of the multi-infernos, probably an expo in there, and probably a bomb tower. Can't spot the second one in there as well. Which means we've got some decent funneling towards that left-hand side to go all the way up north.
Yep, sending the king in toward the Ego Artillery. He's also going to end up pulling the CC troops out. We got the one poison to help the king deal with that. The golem with the queen as she walks up. And then the log launcher meant to take the other Inferno Tower compartment. More super minions in the defensive CC. We're seeing both teams utilize these troops.
Yeah, that log launcher again. This one looks a little bit more promising than the previous one, and the king's taking quite a bit of a hit here as we're trying to get this Eagle Artillery down. We do finally get those Klein Castle troops down, and look at that log launcher go. It does damage. We got some additional troops in here, and actually I think there's a wall breaker in here that does open up some of those walls there. Royal Champion coming through to try and go for the scatter shot up north, but a few skeletons slowing her down, and you've already got to send some of these loons in towards that Town Hall compartment.
Yeah, luckily for Dobbsbin, it's a single target Inferno Tower by the Town Hall, not a multi, but either way, it's close enough that he could hit both together with the freeze. Ooh, this tornado trap at an interesting spot, but half the balloons don't even hit it. Pops the Warden ability to get past it. A haste spell on the bottom side, but now this scatter shot's doing double damage, and he doesn't have any more freeze spells.
Yeah, it's a bit tough. I mean, the haste did come in there to try and help the last bunch of loons going for that scatter shot compartment, but the monolith still standing, the scatter shot, and the enemy queen still up there at the very, very end. That can be quite painful to push through, since the queen can pick off a lot of loons here, which means there's a lot of cleanup around the outskirts of the base just to get that additional percentage in here, and more than enough time to let that play out. But unfortunately, it won't be pushing through here again for time to throw, which means Badzinger will be holding the percentage lead here, since I don't think we'll be getting nearly as much down as the previous attack.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he maybe expected a little bit more value from his queen and Royal Champion. I think his queen was actually able to reach the scatter shot from the compartment she died in, but she died so quickly, and then the skelly traps distracting that Royal Champion forced him to have to use a freeze on that upper scatter shot that maybe he wasn't anticipating. If he had that freeze on the lower scatter shot on the back end of the attack, this could have been a different story. So the plan just slightly not going to plan, perhaps. It's going to be a defense for Badzinger, and overall just a little bit better percent for Badzinger as well. I think it's going to be a 9 building lead here after the first round of attacks.
Yeah, 88% 2-star up against that 97 does give ETX Badzinger the lead now as we move on to the second round of attacks. That should hopefully help their confidence to push through. But again, being only 2 stars in, I mean, it still could be anybody's war at this point.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it might as well be a perfect tie right now. 8 attacks still to go. Anything could happen. Looking forward to seeing, what attack strategies they're bringing, and still keeping an eye on all these base designs. I'm kind of waiting to see if we get any ring bases today, but I have a feeling we might not. It's just going to be box after box after box. They seem to be what works best right now.
Yeah, rings are not as common anymore. I feel like you do see some of these ring bases in maybe like Legend League, or definitely at least in the lower Legend League where, I'm currently sat at. But we've got the next attack coming in from Kureshi for Badzinger. We've got some more Electro Titans coming in here, Lex, this time with no zaps though.
No, we usually see zap spells with this attack strategy, but on this one he elects to not bring them. Does have the Warden starting right in front of that Royal Champion. I'm wondering if he's going to just rage, maybe send a Headhunter, have the Warden snipe the Champion here. The scatter shot is pretty deep inside the base, so I have a feeling he's not trying to Warden walk all the way to the scatter shot. We'll see what he does, though.
I mean, we have a bunch of rage spells in here as well, so we'll see what happens. That one Electro Dragon is trying to clear out some of these defenses around the outside, but again, there's a bunch of hidden testers that pop up, and these air defenses can also do quite a bit of damage, and the Electro Dragons have this nice chain value, and right now there's not a lot of chain value that we could get, and as we approach that air defense, this Electro Dragon's just going to go down.
And that Warden just pathed perfectly, proving me wrong. He is going to be able to take out the scatter shot. Nice value from the Warden walk. And then we should be seeing the smash come in from the right side of the base, as that Electro Dragon already made the funnel, like you pointed out. But the Teslas popping up in that dead zone does make this a little bit awkward. Is everybody still going to go in perfectly like he wants them to?
It does. Everything does pass beautifully into this multi-inferno compartment. The Queen, however, she's on the outside. She does backtrack and go join the Electro Titans through that push towards the core of the base here. Where she's also deployed that jump spell, which will connect that first multi-inferno compartment to the Eagle Artillery. And not only that, we'll be able to jump all the way through to the monolith, to the Town Hall area, with the King and the Royal Champion trying to clear out that secondary multi-inferno compartment before trying to push through towards that scatter shot.
That invis forcing all the E-Titans to the upper side of the Town Hall in an awkward angle. They do still secure the Town Hall, but that makes all the healers reroute, and now look at them just on wizards on the bottom side of the base. That's so weird. But the Town Hall secure, the Giga Poison doing a lot of damage to the Warden and the Queen right now as the King wraps around the left side of the base. He used his champion really early, and I think she got out in front and died as well.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate. I don't think we got the full value out of that Queen ability there as well, which only leaves us with the King and a few Electro Titans. The healers are still up here though, so they are able to try and get a little bit extra push, and there's no heavy hitting defenses on that northern side. A Baby Dragon and some more cleanup troops there on the north to try and help support it.
Oh boy.
I mean,
he's
the
gonna be able to just
here.
barely squeak by. Look at this, the
Yes.
King staying alive on just 5 HP. I think he had some Valkyries in that siege barracks helping out as well. The 1E Titan
Yes.
leading the charge, and the Witch that never died. It's a 3-star for Badzinger.
That was super close, but it paid out at the very, very end. They're Badzinger. They're in a good place right now because they have now put in the pressure on a Time to Throw, coming in with that triple as well as the lead that they already had from the 2 stars, 97%. They're looking pretty good right now.
Exactly, a beautiful 3-star right there. Gives them the lead, puts some pressure onto the other team now, who need to answer back with a 3-star of their own. We'll see if they can do it. They still have a lot of good attackers coming up next, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they're bringing up.
Yeah, they definitely do have some good attackers in there, and I'm hoping to see some nicely executed plans in there as well. I mean, here we go with the next attack, and we've got Max for Time to Throw, and we've got a bunch of invisibilities and bats and skeletons dropped here on that left-hand side, and we're currently targeting the multi-inferno goes invisible, redirecting some of these troops, but is it going to be enough? It might still be enough.
Oh, he makes it invisible again.
Oh, and the clan castle stays up. I think if we just place that final invisibility perfectly, we would have still gotten it down even with that one misplacement.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate for Max here. You can see him freaking out a little bit too. I think him missing that first one might have made him a little bit nervous, and then missed another one. The CC building staying up is going to be the biggest problem here, as he does not have a poison spell to deal with the CC troops. Question is, are these CC troops going to be something that really mess up his attack here?
I mean, we got the ice golems with some rocket loons, a bunch of archers I think in there as well, and the World Champion is going to be sat there in that damage and will be going down, and everything's now pathing towards the King, so the King's just going to be slowed down here. He does also just step in range of that multi-inferno, doing some damage in here, which is also going to force his ability here, and we can't even get those rocket loons down. They're going to stay up and trail around that King, unfortunately, and Queen's now trying to still clear up around the outskirts here, and she's going to start to approach that enemy Queen here, so a lot of damage. So Max does force that Queen ability to help speed up the process of getting the Queen down, but the main thing is that we secure that Town Hall now and need to get that blimp with the Lalo in towards the Town Hall.
Yes, he saves the Rage Spell here to help out the Yeti Bomb with the Tornado Trap. Being a little interesting here on the blimp, but he will still be able to get that Town Hall as long as those Yetis are raged up. Yes, they are, just barely clipped in that Rage Spell. Balloons on the right side, balloons on the top side, trying to pick up as much percent as possible, but if you look at all these key buildings on the bottom side of the base, you can see what his plan was meant to do and kind of what he would miss. I think the Skelly Donut was supposed to take out the CC and that left side multi. The Royal Champion was supposed to take out that bottom multi. The King was supposed to take out the right side scatter. The Queen was supposed to take out the left side scatter. So just all around, each individual piece of that opener just not quite able to get it done. And you can see his Lalo got plenty of value even with all those key buildings staying up. If the opener had gone the way he wanted it to, this probably would have been crushed.
Yeah, it's very heartbreaking to see because the plan looked pretty promising. I mean, you can see that the buildings that was missed by that Skelly Donut is still standing. The Clan Castle is still standing, and we got that multi-inferno there. And I'm pretty sure, do you think the King would have gotten that other multi-inferno down if we didn't pull those Clan Castle troops?
If those Clan Castle troops weren't there at all, the Royal Champion was actually pathing to that lower multi.
Ooh.
She would have been able to take it out, and the King was meant to go in toward that right side scatter shot. So he would have had both of those key defenses taken out if the CC troops weren't distracting. That's crazy.
Honestly, it's just, you can see that. I mean, this is why we love Clash of Clans. It's because that one tile misplacement for the invisibility spell is what makes the difference at the end of the day. That tiny little tile just makes all the world.
Absolutely, but you can see it's kind of impressive. He was still able to get above 90% even after all those errors in the opening of the attack, missing all those key defenses, still able to have a beautiful Lalo. Just nothing went wrong on the Lalo part. It was just too many key defenses that overwhelmed his balloons, and he ended up falling short at like 92, 93, 94, something like that.
Yeah, it was very, very close here. And let's see if ND is gonna bring some fire here now as well. We've got some more hogs coming in, as well as a queen charge and a flame flinger on the southern side, and there is still a monolith still standing there on the right hand side, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there with the flame flinger.
Yep, the queen charge, hog riders, no super hogs on this one like we saw in the, I think, their first attack of this match with Cadiel. Now, does the queen path perfectly into the scatter shot? I believe she will. The aggressive rage here, the healers will get into it at the perfect time. The headhunter also clipping that rage spell a little bit, able to take out the enemy royal champion. Now, the one thing I'm worried about is, will this Inferno Tower end up hitting healers? But luckily for ND, the ice golems are going to stop the queen there for about 20 seconds, giving the flame flinger maybe enough time to catch up and take out that Inferno Tower, but also the monolith might get it.
Yeah, this multi-inferno does look a little bit troublesome at the moment. Here we go. Queen takes one step forwards, and these healers are in range of the multi-inferno, which means Andy has to keep these freezes going now to try and keep these healers alive, and it's just going to be problematic. Here's another spell coming in to try and keep that, and we've got the Royal Champion now slowly making her way to try and secure that multi-inferno. The Diggy doing a good job at stunning it to hit that queen to push for the Town Hall.
Yeah, he does send the champion from a slightly off angle to help keep those healers alive. Nice adjustment there. Popping the ward ability super early for these hog riders, but there were still so many traps on that right side of the base. He already lost, it looks like, almost every single hog rider. The flame flinger is still alive. He might need to just pop that open manually to help the royal champion. The healers all go down. Queen picks up the town hall, but she's struggling in that Giga Poison. She goes down, and now ND might be in a bit of trouble here for the back end of the base.
Yeah, the last bunch of loons slowly making their way towards that scattershot compartment. We did still have a skeleton spell, which will distract some of the defenses, but there's still some traps in here as well. And everything's slowly dying off here towards the last few defenses there. And we've got that multi-inferno still standing there around where the town hall was, and unfortunately, Andy will be falling short here as well. 2-star 80. We've got some more cleanup there on the northern side for some additional percentage, but unfortunately not going to get the triple, which means Time2Throw could make a comeback here on stars if they get another triple in, which will put them even on stars.
Yeah, I question this plan a little bit because of that multi-target Inferno Tower. You know, if it wasn't in that perfect spot to hit the healers, he probably could have saved 2 more freezes to help the hog riders and the champion, and that could have made all the difference here in this attack. But maybe just good base building here from Time2Throw, and that will give them the chance to tie things up if they can hit the triple on their next attack. Still able to pick up decent percent here. The 85 is still somewhat respectable. But if Time2Throw hit this triple on their next hit, I think we're going to be pretty close to tied, not only on stars, but really close on percent as well.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the statistics to see what the percentage is currently at, so we can get a good value of who will be taking the lead through. I think we had a 97 though from Cadil, which is pretty high, so I feel like Badzinger might just have the edge there on percentage, even if Time2Throw triple, but Time2Throw are putting up a fight here.
Yes, certainly, and still got a couple of good attackers coming up. Lots of attacks here in this matchup. I think Pavu coming in still for Time2Throw. He's been going last a lot lately, I believe, and he's always bringing the queen charge. We'll see if Badzinger going to be able to bait him or not, like we were talking about before this match started. But we'll see if he's going in. No, it looks like he might be going last today. We got Bounky coming in with a queen charge of his own, though. And look, he's bringing not a normal lava hound on this one, but the ice hound.
Yeah, the Ice Hound is nice. It gives you some additional, like, spell value, even though we actually have a lot of freeze value already with 3 freezes in here. It looks like we're going to try and use some of those freezes with the hero portion of the attack already, as we've got that king going for the scatter shot. We also have the enemy queen in here, which we're trying to take down, and Wing slowly making our way as we approach to multi-infernos. A lot of damage coming in here already without that rage spell tower going off here, so it's nice to clear out some of those heavy hitting defenses before that rage spell tower goes off.
Yeah, he found a lot of Teslas early and skelly traps, and ooh, these CC troops having to freeze and rage, multitasking pretty well. Also has a Yeti doing some funneling on the top side of the base. But even with all that damage early, nothing wrong has happened for Bonky. It's looking decent. The queen pathing in toward the Eagle artillery. Another rage, another invis, keeping her alive. Now the champion moving in on the left side of the base and starting the Lalo early here in this attack, not wasting any time at all.
Yeah, Queen can reach over really nicely here for the multi-inferno there as well, so you don't need to worry too much about that not being open. And we do have even more wall breakers coming through, opening up this clan castle compartment so she can reach all the way through. And in the meanwhile, Bonky has sent the Lalo into the town hall. He's holding on to that warden ability so we can activate it through the Giga Poison and protect a heavy portion of the loons towards that final compartment. And Lex, we still have the Stone Slammer.
Yes, did it hit Seeking Air Mines, or did he accidentally pop it open manually there? I'm not sure, but it only took out one building. I really wish he had some extra headhunters for this enemy royal champion right now, as she might be the only thing that could stop this attack at the moment.
Yeah, that air defense slowly doing some damage on these last few loons here, but I don't think anything can defend here. We got cleanup around the outside of the base, and Bonky is coming in with the triple here, and as you can see, the percentage is already at 36% to 56.4, so it truly is only a few buildings that is going to be giving the lead over to ETX Badzinger.
Yes, a beautiful queen charge Lalo plan here from Bonky. Nothing went wrong. It's very interesting to see Badzinger using an anti-3-star base here. I think they had box bases on their other defenses so far, so interesting to see they're using a mixture of different styles and not all the same, but it should be a 2-building lead still for Badzinger. So like you said, they barely edge out the lead right now, but 2 buildings is not a lot, so we are basically almost dead even.
2 buildings is ridiculous. I mean, we've only got 2 attacks left from each of these teams, which means the pressure is on for both of them. This is a very stressful situation.
Yes, indeed. You get all the players that still have attacks going on have got to feel the weight on their shoulders right now, the pressure. They know their teammates really are relying on them, want them to hit these 3 stars, and the players that have already done their attacks, the feeling is just such anxiety. You're sitting there, you've already done your attack, now you're just waiting, watching your device, saying, please get a defense, please, please. It's such a stressful situation.
Yeah, the base builders sat there biting their nails to see what's going to happen on the next few attacks. I can't believe it's just 2 buildings that makes the difference. This is why every single cleanup troop makes the difference, because you want to get as much down as possible. We said it in the beginning that it really can come down to those last few buildings, and BN now is up for ETX Badzinger, and we have got some more Queen Charge Lull, and again, we've got that Flame Flinger. These players do love to see a Flame Flinger in action.
Oh, certainly. I think, like I was saying earlier, when you can find a good use for the Flame Flinger, it tends to be the best siege machine. I mean, if it can snipe 7, 8, 9 defenses for you and set up some pathing, it's just always really good value. We're seeing the BN use it here to make its way toward the Town Hall section, and oftentimes when you're using that Flame Flinger, you're worried about something like a Ground Expo, but notice how he has a plan for that Ground Expo. The plan is let the Queen distract it while the Flame Flinger puts in work on the left side of the base. Now the King on the upper side of the base able to set a funnel up there and distract the other Expo while Queen fights the CC troops.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage though coming in on our queen, which will force BN's queen ability here, and the ice columns are actually going to slow that queen down a little bit longer in there in this compartment. The poison and spell tower going off there onto the queen as well as we try and make our way into that town hall compartment, but that expo still on the queen is really valuable, so you can get that flame thing. It's still clear around the outside. Don't know if it was in range just yet, but let's see how this pans through. We're 1 minute 30 seconds, and we haven't seen a balloon on the board just yet. Ideally, you want to see them coming in around the 1 minute 30-minute mark, but we want to make sure we can get that town hall down.
Yes, the queen getting the town hall looks pretty safe now, so he's starting the Lalo from the right side of the base with the royal champion to help out. I am a little concerned about this air sweeper causing quite a bit of problems here, but he's just going to pop his warden ability, and he's got a rage left over. I'm interested to see if he tries to keep the queen alive or maybe lets her die and uses all the spells for the Lalo.
Yeah, we had some headhunters under the warden ability there as well, which helped clear the enemy queen off of the base so we don't lose too many loons, and our champion just manages to get that monolith down before forcing her ability. The loons with the rage getting that scatter shot down, which means there's only a few more defenses remaining. The Diggy is stunning that final expo that's still left, Dex. And there's a bunch of loons still remaining, not many defenses left, and we've got ETX Badzinger putting the pressure on Time2Throw here with yet another triple.
Very nice stuff there from ETB in. I think he made the right call by letting the queen die. Instead of using that last rage spell to try and keep her alive, she might have gotten a couple more Teslas, but instead he uses that rage for the Lalo, and it really just pushed them through that scattershot compartment so quickly and allowed them to just clear all the defenses with ease, giving his team another triple here and putting Time2Throw in an interesting spot now. They don't technically have to triple this next attack to stay in, but they definitely want to.
Yeah, they're in the hot seat for sure. I mean, ideally, a triple will be ideal. They want to be in the best position possible for that final attack. Otherwise, the pressure is on for the final attacker. I mean, it still could be the 2-building lead if this one triples there as well.
Exactly. If we see this triple, we're just right back to where we were 2 attacks ago. The 2-building lead for Badzinger, and then going into the last round of attacks will make things very exciting for the end. So we'll see what Time2Throw busts out here, and I'm really excited to see what kind of base we're going to see from Badzinger next up. Are we still going to have the mixture going with another anti-3-star, or maybe they just have a ring base and they just decided to throw up one of everything? I don't know.
Do you think a ring base will throw it off here? I mean, it's not a ring base in here, unfortunately. And we actually have power potions going on across everything here from Van, just to make sure that we can get everything at max health, and the invisibility missing the monolith here. This might cost them that monolith going down.
He might not be able to get it, especially with the builder huts repairing it now, but he's trying hard. Already got the CC building and investing another invis to see if he can get the monolith, but with the rage spell wearing off, those builders repair way too fast.
Yeah, this is quite unfortunate. We do, however, get that clan castle down, which means we can save out on that poison spell, which we didn't bring, because that can be a little bit problematic now. That monolith, I mean, it's a bit tough to say, because the monolith won't be a problem for the loons necessarily, because it only targets one at a time, but these heroes might get a bit of a problem with that monolith here. And we've got that queen with that golem going for the egalitarian compartment, so golem dealing up a lot of damage there from the expo, so that's nice value. And the log launch is going to be pathing already through to do some damage on this multi-inferno in the core, where the king's already forced his ability and got the revive from the Phoenix, so it's all about the clan castle troops here to get some additional value on this multi-inferno, since the log launch is not going to be sufficient to get it down.
Right, and the Yeti dying so fast from the log launcher. He still has that E-Titan, and look at that RC seeking shield effect, taking out the right side multi, and then RC paths left to get the other multi. So I think he's still able to get all the Sui value he wanted. Now, you were mentioning the monolith maybe not being that critical against balloons, but the one thing it is going to mess up is potentially the balloon pathing because maybe he was expecting the Blues to take the Town Hall and then just be able to move left or right and get away from the Giga Poison. But now they have to move right through in toward the Giga Poison just to get access to the Monolith, but it doesn't seem like it even matters because all those balloons are toast.
Yeah, the second portion of those loons still trying to get that scatter shot down there, but again, we're only left with one loon there on that left-hand side, and I think one or two more left to clean up there on the right-hand side. We do have one freeze, but yes, that Monolith really needed to go down here.
Yeah, I think it did make quite a bit of a difference. I wonder if that Monolith had gone down from the Skelly Donut, if the balloons could have pushed through the rest of this base. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say it is for sure that they would have. They might not have, but it definitely would have been a lot closer. He's still able to get pretty decent percent here. Going to be able to rack it up almost to 90. He might be able to barely get 90 if the Warden has enough time to get the sweeper. Might not be able to. That storage has a lot of health.
Yeah, and unfortunately the last few troops there getting picked off. We're at an 88% 2-star from Van. Very unfortunate we didn't get that Monolith down. But Badzinger have the lead now. They've got that extra star on the board and percentage. And if they come in strong with the final attack, they could be securing their victory already.
Yep, this match lies in the hands of the final attacker of Badzinger right now. He determines their fate. A triple here seals the deal. In fact, let's see, they were up by how many buildings? 2, and then that was an 88. So they should be 14 buildings up right now. So an 87% 2-star or better already guarantees the win for Badzinger. So pressure's on. Let's see if they can do it.
I mean, Badzinger have had the high percentages. We had Kadil with a 97 at first, and I think an 85 from ND. So they're up there, and they can do it. It's just really a matter of execution, really. And we've got some Super Dragons coming in here from Demon. Again, we've got that recall spell, so I assume we'll get the Queen Charge there on the north-hand side. This time, as you said, we've got that Unicorn in there, so we can't be placing all of these healers, so we can recall the Queen and all of her healers after clearing out the funding on that north-hand side. And I think we'll be deploying it there on the right-hand side there as well, because we've got both of those sweepers facing towards the left.
Yes, exactly. It seems to be the pretty classic setup here with this Queen Walk Recall Super Dragons. He doesn't seem to be wanting to use a Flame Flinger. Got the Stone Slammer activated. So Queen for the upper side, let her get a little bit of value. He might let her walk all the way down to take the champion out and then look to recall her. If he's willing to wait long enough, she could also get the scatter, but nope, he doesn't want to wait at all. Doesn't even want to use a rage spell, so he's going to pull her out of there before she even has to fight the champion.
Yeah, we're getting that funding already set here now, as well as deploying a few loons to get that one cannon down. There's also a hidden Tesla there, and we've got that one builder hut there surrounding that multi-inferno, which means we're going to be able to get them in directly for that town hall compartment as well. And again, you just have to be patient with the funding here now. We haven't got the funding just yet to get the Queen into that scattershot compartment either. We're going to place something around the outskirts here, do you think, to make sure the Queen goes for the scattershot, or will she take route into there on her own?
He brought 3 sneaky goblins, and I've got to imagine those are meant to push the Queen in toward the scatter shot. The invisibility spell, he misses the Queen there, only hit the healers. Unfortunately, she goes to ability, and luckily for him, she still manages to walk inside, even with him kind of forgetting to use those sneaky goblins. He's having to multitask here. Dragons in for the Town Hall, popping the Warden ability, trying to keep an eye on the dragons, trying to keep the Queen alive. Here comes CC troops, and without a poison spell, Queen might struggle here.
Oh, the freeze spell in here. We do freeze the Expo. Monolith, the Eagle Artillery didn't get frozen there, unfortunately, which means we're still hitting pretty hard on these Super Dragons trying to make way to this compartment, but there is so much still remaining here neighboring that Eagle Artillery. Both multi-infernos, some Expos in there, and you have to rely on basically almost only the hero value, since that one Super Dragon there on that left-hand side is being locked onto by that Eagle Artillery.
Yes, this is looking really interesting now. His teammates need to be telling him that he doesn't have to be a hero. He doesn't have to go for the 3-star. He only needs an 87%. to guarantee the win for his team. So hopefully his teammates are telling him where to drop the champion, where to drop the sneaky goblins, go for percentage points. He's popping that king ability. He's got the champion on the left side, but she's getting targeted by so many defenses, and I don't know if he's going to hit that mark.
Yeah, it's looking really tough here. I mean, the healers are also getting picked off one by one here now. And the king is just struggling. And even if we're running out of time, 3 seconds remaining, and we've got the 79%, which means I'm pretty sure Time to Throw could take the victory on this one now.
They could. Percentage can now swing in favor of Time to Throw, but the interesting thing is they are down by 3 stars, so it is quite literally a triple or lose situation for the last attacker here. All the pressure. 99% is not good enough. He needs a 3-star.
Yeah, definitely. It's a all in here. Go big or go home. I mean, it wouldn't really be go home since we do have that lower bracket, but I mean, we get the point of that. I mean, here we go with the statistics. We've got 12 stars in at 92.2 and 9 stars for Time to Throw. So the final attacker is in the hot seat right now.
Oh, yeah, and it's Diego who's going last with a little Hog Rider action. No healers on this one. 15 Super Hogs is quite a heavy investment on those. 7 normal Hogs to back up. 5 lightning spells with an Earthquake. Probably got to be going for one of these Inferno Towers, I would imagine.
Yeah, quite interesting to see that we actually have got Zap Hogs, and we actually did bring a heal spell on this one. It's the first time we're seeing a heal spell in combination with some Hogs, and we already sent that early blimp in, and it only clears out around the outskirts of this compartment. The Yeti Mites are jumping over and do clear out the monolith, and the Zapquakes, as you mentioned, are going for the Inferno.
Yeah, I thought there for a second that he popped the blimp in the wrong compartment. I thought he was trying to get it just barely in that monolith section, but it doesn't matter because those Yeti Mites do not care about walls at all. Luckily, those Yetis were beating on the wall toward the monolith. If they had started beating on the wall toward the upper side, like toward the gold mine, the Yeti Mites might not have gone perfectly to the monolith, but everything's going to plan so far. The King in on the top side of the base with the Wizard to support. Still has the Phoenix ability. King should be able to clear the Eagle Artillery for him here. Maybe even take out the Queen if he's able to get through the Skelly Traps quickly enough. And the Queen on the right side going for the Town Hall. Everything seems to be going to plan. Oh, he might not get the Eagle after all.
Yeah, the King gets a revive, but we're so distracted by those Clan Castle troops here, and we're trying to send those Hogs in, and they will bunch up around the Eagle Artillery compartment and hopefully make their way in toward that left-hand side here, since we've got that Expo, which will be pulling them towards the scatter shot here. And Queen, as you said, did secure the Town Hall, and Warden ability protecting from this multi-inferno damage, and as the Warden ability wears off, Diego has deployed this heal spell just to make sure that everything can keep as much health as possible. Is that monolith, the multi-inferno did a lot of damage here.
Yeah, he's still got a lot of these Super Hog Riders alive. Most of these Hog attacks, we've been seeing the Hogs die out so quickly, but these Hog Riders are getting quite a good push here. He's got free spell after free spell to help keep them pushing even further, and this is looking like he might be able to pull it through. It might get a little close here. Diggy stunning the scatter shot. Plenty of these Super Hog Riders getting flung off of their Super Hogs, still getting more value afterwards as well. He's got the champion ability. He's got the invisibility spell. Coco, I think he might be able to pull off the victory here.
Yeah, these Hogs, look how many we still have remaining. We're clearing up around the outskirts of the base. The Diggy is also stunning, and that Royal Champion ability will give a lot of health back to the Royal Champion. 20 seconds left. 4 buildings remaining on cleanup duty. We did have that one archer already working through that one collector there, the storage up top, and Time to Throw pulled it back in their favor, and we'll be going through to round 2, Lex.
A nice performance from Diego right there with all the pressure on his shoulders, and he pulls out Zap Super hogs? I mean, that's not a common attack strategy at all, but he gets it done. It's a victory for Time to Throw. They take out Badzinger out of the upper bracket right there and send Badzinger down into the lower bracket. Man, Badzinger had the lead, the advantage throughout that entire